Hey you, how are you?
You looking at me?
Yeah, I'm looking at you. I asked you a
You
question.
talking to me?
How are you?
Ain't nobody around. You must be talking to me.
Oh Lord, this is gonna be a long one.
I'm doing good. You?
Good. We're actually kind of on the water visiting a couple of family members here.
I wonder if those family members of the RV underway.
I think so.
Mr. Ricky and Miss Barbara?
Her car tag was Navy, so that would be why they're underway.
And they do have that new toy, Gobi?
I don't know.
A golden beige, limited edition Jeep with Daisy Dukes on the front. I am James Carter.
I'm Elizabeth Carter.
And together we are the Aloha Conch.
Aloha.
Conch.
I am a Army dependent. My dad was in Honolulu, Hawaii from 79, 80 to 84. I showed up in 83.
And I am a military, that's all branches, naval child. As y'all know, the RV underway are two. Miss Barbara is retired Navy and Mr. Ricky is Navy himself. Moved all around the country. I came along in 82. I'm the May edition of 82 and born in Key West, Florida.
Conch.
Territory of the Conch.
Together, we are the Aloha Conch. We have our individual channels of looking and loving small life, looking and loving and following RVers. I've always wanted an RV and I've always wanted to travel and always wanted to be small, but we have decided to start the savings fund this year instead of last year, but that's
Oops.
okay.
I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, well, stuff happens, life happens, but you've got to enjoy the journey while you are working towards your dreams. Anyways, we are at Lake Eufaula today, enjoying a little bit of the water.
Well, that's what us Alabamians call it.
I know.
Yeah.
But actually, we're on the Georgia side today, so what would we call it today?
The Walter F. George Reservoir
Ah.
with the Walter F. George Dam.
So from our current location
Is the
of
Walter-
where our sticks and bricks are, we're a little north. The first video we did, they got deleted, erased,
lost
or
in
misplaced.
translation, lost between phones.
That was done in Florida. Two places we kind of like to hang out. Can't help it. We like the water. We like to go places. Eventually you'll go north to the cold. I do want to go to Colorado and that rock up there.
Which rock?
The one by Colorado Springs.
Oh, Cheyenne Mountain.
Yeah, that one.
That's a beautiful place. Or Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak.
Last current count, it was 14,110 feet above sea level.
I have been to Vail, Colorado, and I have been to...
Do they have a veil over that place?
No. I've been to the Hoover Dam, and I've been to California Universal Studios. When we came back from Hawaii in 93, we drove across country. But my sister didn't like the height. She kind of got sick, so we had to come back down in altitude. So that kind of... I didn't get to Rushmore. We'll get there one day.
Yeah. And I get to give you that tour of Colorado Springs.
Woohoo!
And Pikes Peak, and maybe we'll put the Red Rocks Amphitheater on there.
We'll see. What would you want to do on this side of the country, though?
Well, I'd go north a couple hundred miles to
Virginia Beach?
Virginia Beach. I'd like to be back there. There's a little speck, southern speck in Illinois. I think Superman Museum.
I know there's
Metropolis.
a museum in Ohio that would interest you. It's the NFL Museum.
Ooh.
That's close to Cincinnati. That's close to the moonwalk stuff. My dad's originally from that area, Wapakoneta in Cincinnati. You know, and then you go a little further east and you see Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which that's where my mother's from.
I've been to Fort Bragg.
And Pennsylvania. Her birth certificate's Pennsylvania, but her daddy was armed forces, and they were at Fort Bragg for years, and that's where she grew up. So Pennsylvania would be Hershey's and the chocolate.
Yeah. Or we can go to the home of the southernmost point buoy, Key West.
Oh,
Or
we're definitely going to go back there.
Mile marker 0.
We're definitely going to go back there.
In my current, as of the making of this video, I've only been there twice, the day of my birth and
Our honeymoon. My mom and dad actually want to go down in October. So there's going to be a video October by myself, but there is an art exhibit in October that they want to see, and so we're going to go down. But then my dad got a new assignment for school, so we actually don't know if my dad's going to get to go or not. My dad and I were the two that wanted to see the art exhibit. My mama wasn't too thrilled about all the driving.
Wait,
but
art exhibit? A-R-T?
A-R-T.
Oh, I thought you said part exhibit.
No.
Who is this art?
A-R-T. Wyland.
Doesn't he do the Wailing Wall?
He does all of his whaling walls. There are several. There are 3 or 4 in Honolulu, Hawaii. There's several on different islands, the Big Island, Maui. He actually started in Laguna, California, so there's several out there. And then he ended up in Key West as a home spot for himself. So he has a gallery there, and he has an art studio there.
If y'all make a trip down to Key West, do the trolley tour.
Yes, definitely.
Do the trolley tour.
Definitely. And the horse and buggy.
And the horse and buggy, and go see Wyland's exhibit.
We actually went by there, and we actually had lunch at Hard Rock Cafe.
Just across the street.
And that was pretty cool.
Didn't we miss him by a few hours?
We did. He actually left the day we got there. And for COVID-19, he was actually scheduled to fly out that day, and they wouldn't let him fly out that day. So for a while, here in the early part of 2020, he's been in Key West all this time by himself. But the girl I talked to was out of Laguna, California, and she said that he was flying home later that day. So he's not on our side of the country today.
Yeah. Now, one place I've never been and would love to, but I don't think we can make the RV trip. Hawaii.
We'll have to park it at the Sticks and Bricks to go.
Yeah. Take a one-stop trip out, cross country to California. And
your
then
plane
out.
ticket would actually state DHN, ATL, LAX, HON.
And then that in reverse back.
Yep.
I love this woman.
Actually, this week is kind of a weird week for me personally because this is my mission week. This is Sunday. I actually would be on a plane right now coming home to ATL and driving back to DHN. For the last 9 years, for the last several years, my church has gone to Honduras for a mission of medical, vision, dental, and spiritual services. But because of Corona, the mission compound, the mission company out of Laurel, Mississippi, has decided not to send us this year. We had a team in January, and they came home in January and decided not to send the rest of us. So this has been a happy, sad week for me. I've kind of been reminiscing and putting it on Facebook what we would have done for the day. But today would have been my travel day home. It would have been trip 11. My passport actually would have held me for trip 11 and 12. But I had decided not to go this year to stay home because I had made just a 10-trip commitment. And then I had this thing done. This boo-boo thing done. And it would not have been, I would have lost the trip anyways because of medical. So, myself. So, maybe another year.
That's been your out-of-country missions trip.
Yep.
We have both done in-country missions trip to Bethlehem, Florida for Emmaus.
And we've been up north to Central.
Yes,
you can't leave Central out.
But Bethlehem is our home community.
Yes, definitely.
One trip for you out of country would pay for 4 trips
For us to stay in country.
both of us for 1 year.
Yep.
4 trips a year.
2 spring, 2 fall, men and women individually. Yep.
So, that is who we are.
I guess we'll go join the family. Stick our toes back in the water because I can't get in the water and on the kayaks and canoes, and I got stitches and holes still. Stitches are out, but I do have steri strips. So, yeah, I'm gonna go watch the chaos.
Until we see you again, we are the Aloha Conch.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Bye bye.